I have some leftover pumpkin puree that I need to use up, so I decided I want to make some donuts with it. Okay, so in this bowl, I have my wet ingredients. I have 1.5 egg yolks. I am having this recipe, which is why it's 1.5 egg yolks, a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, let's see, 90 grams of pumpkin puree, and 2 tablespoons of butter. That has been softened, although it's pretty chili, so it's not very soft. But I am just going to kind of get these mixed together a bit. Okay, I'm going to call that good. And then I have my 1.5 egg whites. I'm going to get these whipped up to soft peaks. I got my egg whites whipped, and then I have my dry ingredients. So I have 3/4 of a cup of almond flour, a 1/4 cup of brown sweetener, which is a monk fruit allulose blend, 2 tablespoons of oat fiber, a teaspoon each of baking powder and pumpkin pie spice, and then a pinch of salt. So I will get these just blended together. And now I need to get these two combined, but I don't want to overmix them. So I'm just going to kind of put them in gently. And now that we've got these combined, we're going to combine these together. All right, then I've got my silicone mold, which I did spray with some spray and kind of rubbed it all around just to make sure we don't have any sticking happening. And then I'm just going to fill it. The recipe says to pipe it in, but I don't know that that's necessary. And I just don't want to do the work of that. I'm just going to put it in. I've got them in my pan. I'm going to bake them for 20 minutes at a 350-degree oven. I've got my donuts here. They smell really good. They did need to bake actually for almost 30 minutes. It was like 28 minutes that they needed to bake to like get cooked all the way through. So I'm just going to allow them to sit here on my wire rack to cool before I make my glaze. I have my donuts here, and as you can see, they're kind of like falling apart. I have like one or two that are okay. They seemed just really, really moist. Like they're just really flimsy and like falling apart. Um, and this was after I let them rest in the uh, pan for like 4 hours. So it's not like I pulled them out too soon. They are just like really, really moist. I'm not sure if I did something wrong or if it's something with a recipe. So I don't know. We'll have to see. My daughter did try one and she said that it was really good and said that she wants to make some for herself. So that's kind of a good sign. I will give this a try with just the uh, donut. It's good. Um, Definitely a pumpkin flavor to it. And I can taste a bit of sour from, was there sour cream in this? There was no sour cream in this. So I'm not sure why it's got a bit of a sour taste to it, but it kind of does. I want to try it again just to see. Yeah, it's got definitely got a little bit of sour to it. Um, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the glaze or frosting for this. I need 2 tablespoons of, or yeah, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. I'm going to stick this in my, I have let it soften, but it's still pretty firm. So I'm going to stick it in my microwave just to soften it up a little bit more. Okay, that's much better. Now I need to add 2 tablespoons of powdered sweetener. I'm using a monk fruit allulose blend. That's just my preferred sweetener. And I need a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I have halved this recipe because I halved the donut recipe. So, and then I need 1/8 of a teaspoon of maple extract. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here with my 1/4 teaspoon. Try and get about half of it. Okay, and then I need half a tablespoon of heavy cream. Oops, that was a little much. But I do need to add some water too. So And I'm supposed to add a half tablespoon, so I'll just add a little bit less water to kind of make up for that. Okay, and then you just blend these together and add more liquid if needed to get it to the right consistency, or I suppose you could add more sweetener if it was too thin. I feel like maybe this isn't the right tool for the job. Like I need a whisk to really get that cream cheese broken down. Okay, this is just way thinner than I want it to be. I'm going to add another tablespoon of sweetener. Okay, that's getting better, but I still want it a little thicker. Okay, I tasted it and there's definitely just a bit too much sweetener in there. So I'm going to add just a little more maple extract just to hopefully adjust that flavor. I still feel like this is a bit thinner than I want it to be. I think I might let it sit for a minute and just see if it thickens up a bit. I'm going to taste it. Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay, I'm going to let this sit for a minute before I. Okay, it hasn't really gotten any thicker for me. And I think the easiest way to do, you're supposed to like pick them up and dip them, but they're so fragile. I just don't think that that can happen. So I think I'm actually just going to kind of like pour it over the top. I'm not sure. The frosting kind of just disappears into it, and I think part of it is because it's so moist, but also the flavor from the donut is like really, really strong. So you really don't get much of the flavor from the actual icing. So that's kind of disappointing because the icing was pretty good with that maple extract in it. Um, Maybe it'll get better after it firms up a bit. We'll see.